the 2020 presidential selection is now over. And just like I predicted, probably always, it's back to business as usual. Or in this case, now, what I just noticed on social media is there's a leaked audio of this private meeting that the incoming president, Joe Biden, had about a week or so ago with some so-called black civil rights leaders. And in this leaked audio, he's basically scolding these black leaders. He's basically scolding these black leaders that we don't even know about, that we didn't even assign to be our leaders in the first place. But he's basically telling them, I don't have to do nothing that you all want me to do. So one of the leaders said something about, to the extent of, we voted you in, now we want to know, what is your plan for Black America? And Joe Biden said, I ain't got to do a damn thing. For the lamest times, he pretty much said, okay, thanks for your vote. Now go back to your plant. Now go back on the plantation where you belong. 4 years, we get in these presidential selections, and the majority of our people vote overwhelmingly Democrat. And once we get the elected official to win by the nomination, we automatically believe that our problems are going to be solved. These politicians have never gave two damns about you and will never give two damns about you. All they care about is your votes. Once they get your votes and they get that nomination secured, then they go about business as usual by just moving you to the wayside. Joe Biden, the same Joe Biden that went on the Breakfast Club back in the summertime and said, if you didn't vote for him, you ain't black. The same Joe Biden that said once he get into office, his number one issue was tackling the coronavirus. The same Joe Biden that stated that his major concerns, besides the COVID-19, was going to be directed towards Hispanics and gays. He never said he was going to do anything for you so-called black people. He only put Kamala as his running mate to secure the black vote. But do I feel sorry for our people now that Joe has pretty much shown his true colors all along, but now you're getting the double dose of reality, and these next 4 years are going to be a living hell for the majority of our people. But do I feel sorry for the people that voted for him? Absolutely not. I definitely don't feel sorry for them. Why? Because you all were manipulated and you continue to be exploited and force-fed by the media by insinuating that Donald Trump was the big bad bully, and all we had to do for this 2020 presidential selection was to get Trump out of office. But the reality of it is, this COVID situation and how Trump handled it is what caused him to lose the election. This is politics as usual, meaning that Biden didn't promise you anything. You didn't go to Biden with a tangible, but yet the vast majority of our people condemned and slammed Ice Cube for coming up with a contract for Black America. And then, what did Biden tell him? No, we can't talk to you. We gotta wait till after we get in office. We pretty much got the election. So, you know, let's wait and see. If he ain't spoken to Cube by summer 2021, which I don't believe he's gonna speak to Ice Cube nor his team whatsoever, then what's going to be the rallying cry for our people? We're seeing that all of these efforts at forcing ourselves towards a simulation and integrating and wanting everybody to love us so bad has not worked, still isn't working, and will absolutely go nowhere. But we're still continuing to fall for the okie-doke because the major problem our people have is we refuse to do the hard work that is absolutely necessary to achieve our full liberation. We don't want to do the work. I mean, that's the bottom line reality. We don't want to do the work. We don't want to have a boots on the ground mentality. We don't want to provide ourselves with economic resources. We don't want to come together and form our own political party. We don't want to exercise our own political muscle on an independent scale that will have some formality into being a powerful force within this country. Oh no, either we want to stay on the liberal side, which is the Democratic Party, or there's a significant minority that wants to stay strictly conservatism by staying on the Republican side. And I hate to even quote this, but I gotta agree with Jesse Ventura. He called this out years ago. He said the Democrats and Republicans are nothing but Bloods and Crips. Both sides of the same coin. As I stated, Bloods and Crips. Both sides of the same coin. You got your blood and your Crip. Doesn't matter if you flip it. They still gonna remain on the same side. They're still gonna be used in the same manner. They have to practice bipartisanship in order to fully run the country and implement whatever policies they want to enforce. They're not worried about y'all. They're not worried about this economy up and running. They're instituting their new world order into fruition. Military veterans, I can tell you from first-hand experience that all vaccines ain't good for you. There are certain vaccinations that can help alleviate certain illnesses or viruses or whatever pain you may have. But this particular situation, I just don't believe it, man. But our people will continue to fall for the okie doke. Why? Because the major problem so-called black people have when it comes to dealing with these Europeans is that we expect the European to fix and solve everything that we should be doing for ourselves. Politics as usual. These politicians are showing you that you don't matter. Just like Black Lives Matter. Tell me why in this supposed meeting Joe Biden had with these civil rights leaders, where was Black Lives Matter? Where were their leaders? Where were their representatives? How come we didn't hear about this? How come we didn't hear from their spokesperson on insinuating that they at least got invited to the meeting? Where are they at? You know what I see when it comes to Black Lives Matter? I see a bunch of ill-fated, dim-witted white folks that ain't got nothing better to do and tempting as if they're fighting strong-hearted, they're fighting fist over hand into solving your problem. They're not solving police brutality. Wanna know why? Because them white folks don't deal with police brutality. They're gonna go home to their little suburban towns and their little villages and conduct business as usual. Meanwhile, your family is grieving at the loss of your loved one simply because the police shot at them. Your community still continues to be impoverished and run down because you got aldermen that supposedly look like you, that supposedly represent you, but they're downtown collecting payola and kickbacks from other businessmen and people that have no true vested interest in your community. I take that back. They do have a vested interest in your community, but it doesn't involve you. It involves kicking your ass out of your historic black neighborhood and by raising the property value so that they can move in, gentrify it, own it, control it, while you go in the farms, suburbs. You know, you go back in the backwoods where they don't give two damns about you. They don't care if you rock in those diminished suburban areas. Politics as usual. This is how they function. This is how they have ran this country. And this is how they see you. When will our people wake up and finally realize that if we don't come together to solve our own problems by implementing something that will force us to create our own solutions, our people are going to be probably amongst the first people to crumble as this society itself continues to diminish. Oh yes, this empire will eventually burn to the ground. My question to our people is, what are we doing to fully commit ourselves wholeheartedly to the Most High so that we avoid the apocalypse that's destined to come? So in conclusion, I don't want to hear no pity parties about Joe Biden. I don't want to hear no criticisms of Kamala Harris. They've already shown us how they perceive us, what they think, and their actions towards us over the past 30 to 50 years of what they truly think and feel about black people. So save your criticisms and leave them to yourself. I don't want to hear you crying, bitching, or complaining. Because politics is usual for them is just getting your vote, moving you out the way, and continue to run the country as they best see fit. Their system isn't broken. Their system works just fine for them. When are we going to create our own system? When are we going to unite under the banner of one aim, one God, one aim, and one destiny? We have our own flag, the red, black, and green flag. We have our own constitution, the UNIA Constitution. We have our own motto, one God, one aim, one destiny. We have our own slogan, Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. That's the political structure our people need to be directing themselves towards. Otherwise, these next 4 years, y'all are in for a long ride. And it won't be pretty. I'm not going to apologize for coming at our people with this harsh truth. But it must be known, and it definitely has to be heard. And if you are afraid of hearing this truth, continue to drown yourself in a delusional mindset by insisting that Joe Biden really cares about you. He showed those civil rights leaders his true colors in a private meeting. These next 4 years, it really going to show you why for the past 47 years he said what he said about our people. I'm out.